Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Jeem. If you don't know who I am, you can check out the book, which is in the description of this video as well as in the channel description itself. Today I just wanted to deal with the topic of the absolute state of apologetics and theology. So this will be kind of an unscripted rant, and I intend to cover a few topics and then be on my merry way. So let's just get into it. I've been in the apologetics ring for a couple years now, officially, and then unofficially for a couple years beyond that. Please forgive any background noise. And I've noticed one thing that has changed in the last couple years, but this was a long time coming. The first issue that I see, and remember when we talk about apologetics, we mean defense of the faith, is people are not really defending anything. They're all offense. They're not builders, they're destroyers. Now, there is a time for destruction. There's a time when you have to destroy an opposing viewpoint. But if you've built nothing, then when you're done destroying all the foundations around you, there's nothing for you to stand on. And so I've noticed that everybody's become a destroyer. Everybody's become a refuter, a debunker, a debater. And so you'll notice this in kind of the first level of the iceberg, which is what I can only describe as grotesque AI slop thumbnails. Like an AI-generated brown dude with a turban, and it has something to do with private parts and Islamic theology, and it's like, this is helping Christianity. Like this now we're gonna leave Islam. The true deen is whatever this dude has cooked up. You know, let's get a video of Daniel Hakikachu's wife as a thumbnail and say Aisha suckled some men. Well, the true deen. Like, this is it? This is how we're gonna get people to believe in our idea? It's not even like a religion, it's an idea. We don't want them to join a religion. We want them to join an idea. And my idea is just your idea doesn't exist anymore. That's why I don't like, I don't really care for like Christian Prince, because all he does, he's a destroyer. He doesn't have any theology to fall back on. And his target audience are like boomers and teenagers, ex-Muslims who become evangelicals, and from the evangelical pipeline they just become secular people. And they may never be atheists, but they just don't care for true, proper religion. And so I'm just not a fan of that form of apologetics. And I would say that's not really apologetics. That's just called, I'm gonna dunk on my enemy. Okay? Hey, I believe in absolute divine simplicity because it dunks on the EO. Right? I'm a Thomist because it's a good position to have. I can dunk on atheists easier. Okay, or do you actually believe any of the stuff that you're saying? And now we're gonna move from the AI slop topic down into something even worse in my view, which is mental masturbation. I've talked about mental masturbation multiple times on this channel before, and mental masturbation, for those of you who are new, really just means that you're into philosophy and intellectualism for the sake of intellectualism. Like, it doesn't matter if it's true, it matters if you can defend it logically. So based on Aristotle's idea of logic, you can win the debate. That's kind of it. And so I've seen a lot of mental masturbation, whether it is of the Aristotelian or the Platonic realm. People tend to just focus on this intellectualism. And you'll notice so many people put the metaphysical cart before the epistemic horse. So one thing I've noticed that Jay Dyer has done in contrast to that is say we have to focus on epistemology first. To that I would definitely agree. The scripture, which is the foundation of where you get the beliefs from. Okay, like, why do I believe in the church? Because I believe in the scripture. Not, why do I believe in the scripture? Because I believe in Aristotle, and then I go from Aristotle to the church, and then finally down to the scripture, which is like an afterthought. You can't do that. You can't have an unjustifiable, unfalsifiable idea of cosmology, metaphysics, ontology, and then just go, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, by the way. You know, you can't read Aristotle into the verse. So if a verse says, God entered creation and dwelt between the cherubim, you don't get to say, actually, the biblical writer meant the exact opposite of what he wrote. The exact opposite. Even though all the scholars say this is what the verse means. Okay, not to appeal to authority there, but this is what the verse means. Let's deal with it. That doesn't matter, because I believe God doesn't ever enter anything. So therefore, it's not a manifestation. It's not anything. Boom, I win. Not addressing the scripture. Number one. Dealing with justification issues. Number two. Number three, the most harmful, is focusing on ontology and metaphysics as if that is what's going to be the solution that changes the world. Let's not kid ourselves. The majority of you guys who are young neets are into theology because you feel ostracized politically, culturally, maybe racially, when it comes to women and other issues. And so you got into this because it's a way to fix the world. I'm sorry, is absolute divine simplicity going to fix the world? Do you think that has any impact on how people behave, 99% of people behave in real life? Because it doesn't. When you look at the medieval era and the Middle Ages, you have the phenomenon, the horrific phenomenon of roasting cats alive for entertainment, throwing bags of kittens and adult cats into bonfires as a form of entertainment, chasing emblazoned cats down the street and then poking them and stabbing them until they die for entertainment, roasting a cat alive over a spit as slowly as possible to provoke some demon who will then give you information and bless you, and you'll be able to defeat Satan that way. You may think everything I'm saying just sounds like a crock of complete fantasia, but this really did happen in the medieval era and in the Middle Ages, based in part on many people say it's the declaration of a certain Pope Gregory that did that, but I would say that that's really just the tip of the iceberg. The reasoning is just bad theology, saying that there's a great chain of being and that animals are kind of worthless automatons, humans are the enlightened ones. First of all, a highly Gnostic and Neoplatonic idea that the Orthodox Church doesn't really agree with, but then saying, their pain and their suffering doesn't matter because it's all the grand goal, the grand orientation is the service of mankind. This has led to unimaginable amounts of suffering for hundreds of thousands of conscious beings who do in fact feel pain. They may not have human level emotions, but they have pain, they have fear, they feel things, and so roasting alive is really not something that can ever be defensible. And so if you're one of these online Discord Thomists who says, I don't care about that, right? Torturing a rabbit for 8 hours, that's nothing, but I'll never miss a mass. That's not a morally sound idea that you can present to anybody. And only on the dark recesses of Discord and YouTube apologetics could you even get away with just implying these kind of things. I've seen so many people say, I don't care about millions of people who die. I don't care about millions of animals who suffer. What matters really is absolute divine simplicity. Like, now you're getting into a territory of mental insanity and cutting yourself off from reality that rivals Plato's cave. Now it doesn't matter what's actually right in real life. What matters is debating people on the internet. And so, yes, I do care about these issues. Yes, I do care about the suffering of innocent people, care about the suffering of innocent animals. And I think that that has a greater impact. And the theology that either dissuades or promotes, even accidentally, this type of behavior is more impactful and more important than winning points on the internet. Eventually, you're going to have to deal with stuff like absolute divine simplicity and essence energy, but nobody gets into, and nobody just declares, I'm following the religion because of that. Because on the internet, a guy on Discord told me that essence energy means you have two gods, therefore I have to be a Thomist. Like, what? Only in this mentally ill part of the internet, post-2016, could a sentence like that even make sense, and yet we do have so much of that in the apologetics phase. So really, that would be one of my biggest complaints, as well as reading philosophy into the Bible where it doesn't seem to be. Like, you don't have to manufacture, cut, and edit an abomination version of scripture just to fit Aristotle's metaphysics. It's okay if he's wrong, right? He's not an apostle. So those would be my big three things, okay? This grotesque AI stuff that I would be humiliated to show my priest, by the way. Mentally stimulating yourself with abstract, unfalsifiable concepts just for the sake of intellectual stimulation. And number three, not caring about things that temporally impact human beings, animals, the environment, and other things that have an impact on how you live in lieu of mental masturbation. So 2 and 3 are kind of linked together here. And so that would be my great complaint of internet theology, internet apologetics, the places gone to, and of course, since the rise of Discord cults and Discord debates, we've only seen more and more of this kind of mental insanity and mental anguish. So really my recommendation would be, yes, of course, at some point, if you're reading theology, you're going to have to know about essence energy and absolute divine simplicity. But basing your life on it and then neglecting all the other moral issues, it reeks of immorality to me, and it reeks of the fact that I don't think you do this out of a love for God or some kind of communion with the divine in a more vague sense, you could say, but rather because you have to have a position. All right, so step back from the keyboard and analyze this. Did you get into this stuff because you were ostracized from society, and in 2016 you decided, hey man, I have to find the solution, and then from there it's just been a rabbit hole of mental insanity and anguish? Because if that's the case, you probably shouldn't be in apologetics. Now, if you got there just because of that, but then you transformed into really believing with full sound heart and mind and soul, spirit in God and trying to do what you think is actually true, what jives with reality, what jives with scripture, what jives with history, what makes a better impact for this world, kudos to you. But if none of that's important, and what's important is the solution, the position, the debunking, the roasting of people you dislike on the internet, then I don't know what to tell you, but maybe you shouldn't be in apologetics if you don't care about actually finding what A, matches the scripture, and B, jives with reality. So that's it. Buy my book. Thank you for watching Apologetics.